know I got the receipts, girl. You know I got the receipts. This video will contain subject matter about Tasha K and Cardi B's lawsuit. If you're going to remain in the chat, please be respectful. And if you are triggered by any of these type of topics regarding Tasha K, I would suggest you click out now and come back at a later time when the content is more suitable to you. Again, this is a trigger warning. Hey guys, welcome back to the Sweet Pea Diaries. It's your girl Sweet Pea, and I'm back with another quick video. If you are a returning subscriber, welcome back to my channel. And if you are a new subscriber, welcome to the Sweet Pea Diaries. Be sure to like this video, share this video, but most importantly, be sure to subscribe to the channel. All right, y'all. Y'all know what time it is. All right, let's see who we got in the chat. Now, who was the first person? Baltimore, Bama. Hey, Cheryl Hayes. She says, hey, you've been busy today. Yes, girl. Chelsea, Tanja, Rosebuds Forever, Kitty Queen. Chelsea says, Sweet Pea been researching. Girl, I've been going through these transcripts, okay? And when the official transcripts for 2 weeks last week, when them motherfuckers drop, I'm going to be digging through those too. But, yeah, Kitty Queen, Susie Davis Jones, Serene, Yolanda Wilson, Hubbard LaLuce, Maya, Pretty Bound One, Bella Michelle, Jersey Girl, Honey Gal. Hey, you guys. All right. Now, as you come in, settle in. We're not going to be here long. OK, so I've been looking at, we just busted wide open. We went over the motion hearing transcripts from a hearing that was the Zoom hearing that was had back in March. Now, I seen a lot of the comments because I watched the comments and I look at what y'all talking about. And I see everyone is, engaging in dialogue. And I was looking at the chat, I went back. I like to watch my videos so that I know, what it was given. I like to watch my performances. So I went back and I was looking at the chat and I saw that a lot of people, there was a common theme that people are saying that the judge is biased. The judge was biased towards Cardi B. He didn't like Tasha, right? He was biased. A federal judge, again, the winos and people that support Tasha K, they just don't want to give it up. They just don't want to be, wrong. They don't want to admit that this woman, she lost. All right. She lost fair and square. She lost because of the evidence. She lost because she admitted to lying. She lost because when they watched the videos in court and leading up to the trial, everything was giving lies. There were constant lies, constant discrepancies, total disregard for the court's time. The team was turning in paperwork late. everything. So the judge, it was a lot given on both sides. The judge honestly was frustrated with the entire case. He was not biased at all towards Cardi B, and I'm going to show you why. Again, I always got a little nasty, dirty receipt. Now, this is from the official transcript, okay? This is from the motion hearing, and this was the beginning of the hearing. This is when the judge introduced himself, the parties introduced themselves, and this is what the judge had to say. Now, if this don't prove that the judge was not biased, I don't know what. Here it go. All right, so they come in and the judge, it's a Zoom hearing, all right? So the judge says, all right, thank you. So as we begin, let me just state the general proposition that the discovery disputes that the parties have is very unusual in federal court, that lawyers come into court with these kinds of discovery disputes. I served a long time as a superior court or general trial judge in Georgia, and honestly, you really don't have them that often there either. I mean, you tend to have them in divorce cases more than anywhere else. And if you have them at all in civil cases, they tend to be cases involving companies and trade secrets and things like that. So I'm just going to tell you from the beginning that I'm very frustrated that I'm having to get involved in this. And, part of my frustration is, I've not only got lawyers that I'm sure are well qualified in a lot of different areas, fighting about very, in some cases, silly things. But, it just becomes whenever you're dealing with discovery disputes, it's so time consuming. There's really no way to avoid stuff like this getting down and dirty in the weeds of it all. So I'm going to do the best I can, but I'm telling you in advance, I'm frustrated about it. And I'm not going to be real tolerant for what I would say is protracted, unnecessary lawyering. I'm going to be practical about what we're talking about, and I'm going to ask a lot of questions and hold everyone to a very exacting standard about what you need and why you need it. And let me just say, I think it's clear from the record that bears this out. You all know this, but any appellate court that reads this transcript may not know it at first. This is a discovery dispute that arises at the end of a discovery period that has been extended at least 2 times. It may have been extended more than 2 times. I didn't go back and specifically count, and yet it is raised at the very last minute. My office was notified at about 9:45 on November 28th on a 2019 case that was filed fairly early in that year that there was a discovery dispute, and I was notified by, I believe it was by Miss Keeby's counsel, because they filed the first motion to compel, and it was not, I'm not sure that I was notified at all by the plaintiff's counsel. So let me ask the plaintiff's counsel this question. When did you all notify me that you had a discovery dispute about what the defendant was producing? So Cardi B's lawyer says, Miss Matt says, Your Honor, we sent a letter, I believe it was the next day, and I can find the letter if you can give me a moment. We did send a letter around the same time as Miss Keeby, and we were instructed by Miss Lundy in that same email that she sent responses to. So the judge says, I'm sure I was contacted. I just didn't know when. And I did have Miss Lundy check her email today and verified that it was November 28th at 9 o'clock at night, or sometime after 9 o'clock before she was ever notified. Effectively, that's really November 29th as well, if you really think about it. Obviously, somebody was working on this case at that time, but it wasn't my office. So on a discovery period that was extended at least twice and lasted for way over a year, then on the very last day, at the very last period that allowed under the local rules, I'm notified that there's this major discovery fight. So excuse me if I don't really believe the parties when they say that they really need what they need. Because if they really needed it, then probably they would have asked for it from me much sooner than at the very end of discovery. For example, there's no right to take a deposition after the end of the discovery period. If you wait until the very last moment to file a request for documents or for information about the identity of people, you're not allowed to take discovery thereafter. You have an obligation, if you don't think the other side is telling you what you need to know, that you're entitled to know, to find that out sooner than the expiration of discovery, so you can go out and take it. Take the deposition or seek your third-party production of documents or send subpoenas for that matter. I mean, you don't really have an absolute right to send subpoenas after the discovery period for third parties, and only under limited circumstances do you have that right. So it is through that prism that I am looking at this discovery dispute that exists, with a large measure of skepticism about whether either side really cares and whether or not this is merely a strategic maneuver that is being used in protraction of this litigation. Okay. So, I will do my best not to be short with anybody today, but I just want you to know the way I feel going into it. I'm going to be real wary about what you say, and so to the extent that you intend to add some puffery to your arguments, I would suggest that you not, and that you really kind of drill down about what you absolutely need. I mean, I certainly know what the case is about. Now, here it is right here. Now, he reamed them all out, okay? He was in it. He chewed them out, both sides. He said, I'm frustrated with this. You having discovery disputes this late in the game. You're having disputes and I'm sick of it. We're in this Zoom meeting and I don't want to be down here, okay? He said, you wasting my time, but since I got to entertain it, I'm going to be short and I'm letting you know. Get to the point. So if he's going to be biased, now what he's about to say about Cardi B, now, when I heard this, when I was listening to the Zoom call, the fact that I now have the transcript, it looks even worse in writing. When I heard this, I felt as though he was biased to Cardi B, because he's about to make a statement that was very biased and it was very judgmental. And it was a statement that usually is made about women, that are provocative in nature. So he says, now, I know who the plaintiff is. I don't really know the defendant. I think it's also fair that I would say at the outset that I've got a lot of skepticism about the plaintiff's claims in this case, because I know what she's complaining about. And I mean, I have not seen any of the YouTube blogs or otherwise that Miss Kibi, through her companies, published on the plaintiff. But, I certainly have read your representations about what those things say, and the fact of the matter is, a lot of the things that are said in those blogs, while possibly untruthful, is consistent with the image that the plaintiff seeks to portray in the music and the videos that she herself publishes about herself. And, I had this discussion with my wife. I recognize that the plaintiff is an artist. And so a lot of that is no different than the kinds of things that Madonna or Lady Gaga or someone like that may cultivate about themselves. But in some ways, it's possibly hard to understand that the claims could succeed on the merits if presented to a jury selected in this case, when and if the statements that have been said or may be continued to be said by the defendant simply embrace that image that the plaintiff has herself cultivated for purposes of her commercial business. But that's sort of the background of all of this. So let's first just talk about the defendant's motion to dismiss Kibi Studios. And then that's when we go on into reading what we read earlier, and we went into the meat and the potatoes. So I found it odd that he compared Cardi B to Madonna or Lady Gaga, as if to say it was no different than what Lady Gaga or Madonna did. He made it purposeful to mention two white women that are in the industry that might be on the racy side, and compared them and said, well, it's no different than what they do than what Cardi B's doing. So Who was really biased towards what? What happened was Cardi B got up there and proved her case. And that's what Tasha was counting on. She thought she was going to go in there and paint Cardi B as this thug rapping whore that portrayed herself as a thug rapping whore and has previous cases, previous gang affiliations and all of this. And the judge was going to side with her because he already was giving this. He already had this preconceived idea that Cardi B already represented herself in this light, so she deserved to be talked about. So whatever it was that, you know what I mean, Tasha K was saying, honey, Cardi B put it out there. She already has this image. So who was really biased? No, Tasha, you lost. Fair and simple. She proved her case. That's what it was, honey, because the judge wasn't having it in the beginning, okay? He was not here for Cardi B. He was not here for it. At this point, he had not done seen any of these videos. They had not, discovery, everything was just wrapping up. He had not done seen any of the evidence. This was prior to him making his statements about after what he had done seen, okay? So, honey, he was really not hearing and feeling Cardi. So again, we have to come and debunk these. When I see these comments and I see the deflection attempts, again, it's always the deflection. Always the deflection. So when I see them doing that, I said, let me go and get a little receipt. Let me comb through these transcripts and pull it out, because I wasn't going to mention this. Like it really, I'd been knew about this. I knew about it when the Zoom trial, the Zoom hearing happened, and I listened to it at that time. I knew he was feeling like this, and I was kind of worried in the beginning, like, oh, wow, Cardi's not going to get a fair shake because of the way this judge, but the judge fortunately was not the one. He wasn't the one presiding. I mean, he was presiding, but it wasn't his decision. It was up to a jury. It wasn't a judge decision. This was up to the jury. So, honey, he compared Madonna and Lady Gaga or someone like that may cultivate this image about themselves. So what do you think that statement really meant? Like, okay, Cardi B, you compared her against Lady Gaga and Madonna. Why didn't you use other celebrities? Janet Jackson, Madonna, that's the same era. You said Madonna and Lady Gaga. Okay, well, I get it. They have controversial Lady Gaga with the meat and everything, but you specifically are talking about Cardi B's appearance and in her videos and her lyrics and stuff. So you knew exactly who you were comparing her to. You knew exactly what was in your mind and the image that you were trying to get across. So this is just another little receipt that I wanted to put out there. The judge was not biased. He was not biased to anyone in this case. It was an open and shut case because there was no defense. You admitted before you even got to court in an email to the lawyers that you knew this stuff wasn't true. It was a possibility that it wasn't true. And that's why you took the videos down. Then you put them back up. Like, you did a lot to yourself in your own videos when you were admitting that, you knew it was fake. You were wiping your behind with lawsuits and cease and desist. All of this was done by Tasha K. So there's no payola. There's no sympathy. There's none of that. The judge wasn't here for either one of them. He was frustrated about the whole damn thing. Cardi proved her case. Her lawyers were brilliant. They were not shutting, they shut it down. They weren't playing no games. Tasha K went in there unprepared. Her lawyers were not prepared. They weren't experienced. And this is what happened. But you can't defend something that there's no defense when a person is openly admitted to wrongdoing. All right. So I just wanted to show this really quickly. This is just a short receipt. This is not going to be a long video, but I'm interested to see what you guys are talking about. We'll take a couple comments. I'll read, see what's going on in the chat, and then we're going to end it out. Lover of Life says Google is behind Tasha K because they were using TK to push the envelope on celebrity. Now that she has lost, they will drop her like a bad habit. Okay, I didn't know she had a contract with Google. But I guess you mean YouTube. I mean, they don't have a personal relationship with Tasha K. She has ads running on her platform like everyone else. So, Google's not interested in specifically Tasha K. I don't think so. I mean, I get what you're trying to say, but no, she doesn't have a personal relationship with Google. She got ads placed in her videos like all of us. You know what I mean? So, Pretty Brown says, lover of life, exactly. They're using her and she just want money and fame. I mean, they're using all of us, no matter how small or large your platform is. The ads get run and they get a check. So, in a sense, that's why they don't shut people channels down unless it's really something dramatic. You got to really be doing something to get terminated. You know what I mean? It's got to really be violating community guidelines. You got to be doing something down there with, you know what I mean, S, and I can't say certain words, but you got to be doing something. And going back and forth at celebrities and dragging celebrities, unfortunately, no matter how bad it is, you know what I'm saying? Google owns YouTube, right? Yeah, Google does own YouTube, but does Tasha have a private contract with Google? If she has a private contract with Google, let me know, and I will definitely agree with that statement. But if she doesn't have a contract with Google, I don't know why. I just don't, we can all agree to disagree, but I just don't give her that much credit. I don't know why would she be, what would be so great about Tasha K that Google needs to use her? Like, I just don't get it. Her content is, yeah, she's doing celebrity gossip and she's got interviews and stuff, but she is doing these videos. They're not reaching out to her, giving her the content. They don't provide scripts for her, you know what I'm saying, to follow. This is all her own content. So Hip Hop Inquirer says her platform is dedicated to tearing down people of color. Does she talk about white folks? No. Pretty Brown 1 says they shut people down for less. I can't understand why she's still up and running, because she's a larger platform. You know what I'm saying? And I've seen worse on YouTube. Unfortunately, I've seen worse than Tasha K. We have a situation right now with the N-word and the person is still up. You know what I'm saying? So unfortunately, it really doesn't have anything to do with it unless you have, you know what I'm saying? Unless you have a private contract with YouTube and with Google, then I can entertain that conversation. But until then, no, I just don't give her that much credit. I understand you guys believe that she's successful, but you give her way too much credit than she deserves. I think the lights and the glamour and the polished presentation has blinded a lot of people. And that, that's just YouTube. That's the name of the game. That's the name of the internet, is what it looked like, what it appears to be. And that's what makes you successful. The more great and grand it looks, the better your channel does, the better your platform does, because people buy into it. So she's done a really good job of selling that. She's a great salesman. You know what I'm saying? She's sold it. But you give her way too much credit. It's not that serious. CR says, what do you think about her deleting her Patreon after rumors of posting the Star Marie video there? Well, that's an interesting, very interesting conversation, because they do have plants. Okay, so wherever she puts these videos, she can shut down Patreon. It was a conversation in the transcripts we read earlier that the lawyers, Cardi B's lawyers, as you can tell, they were on to the different sites. They know where she's posting. They know where the videos go up. You take one down just to put it somewhere else. You think they don't have eyes everywhere? We don't see what's behind the YouTube names or the usernames. So when people sign up, they could be anybody. They can be anybody. Cardi B could be anybody. Cardi can make a username and go on and sign up for Tasha's platform right now and get access to every video on there. So you can run, but you'll never be able to hide on the internet if you continue to do business there, and post anywhere can be accessible. Unless you are letting people in and looking at their face, asking them to show proof of their face and their ID, you'll never know who people really are. So you'll never be able to post anything and hide it. So she can shut things down, and I believe she shut it down because she knew they were looking for it and they were going to see it. But my thing is, did she really shut it down, or is it under a name that we don't know about? Only dedicated winos or only people that are really, know about this channel, where it is on Patreon, would know. You know what I'm saying? So that's another thing. Did she really shut it down? Is the Patreon really gone? Or is it just somewhere else under another name? You know? But if it's on the website, they will find it because they going to create a username and they going to go find it. If they tell you to take videos down and you cannot have them published, you will be sorry if you disobey the court's order. So I don't think that'll be a bright idea. I don't think just go on and drop it. Move on with other content. Move on. Move on with other content. It's just giving, at this point, it's too much. Okay. So I just wanted to come through really briefly and show that the judge was not biased towards Cardi B. He actually was frustrated with this entire situation from the get-go. You know, I told you, he really encouraged them to settle. I have more proof of that in transcripts, but we went over that. We went over that multiple times. You guys got to read, listen at other videos and look at the documents there. But the judge had encouraged on 2 separate occasions that they discuss settlements, and Tasha wasn't having it because she did not want to look like a loser in front of her subscribers at that time. She knew she was going to lose, but she wasn't ready at that time because that was the time she was telling everyone that she wiped her ass with it, that she was swearing on her children, and she wasn't ready. And as I stated back then, it doesn't matter whether it happens now, 2 months from now, or a year from now. It's going to happen. The judge is going to sign the paperwork and you're going to lose your lawsuit. I've been standing on that firm for a year now. You're going to lose because there was no defense. I was watching the motion, the motion to compel. I was looking at the interrogatories. Tasha didn't even fill some of those questions out. She didn't even answer some of them. Some of the answers to them were repetitive. Looked like copy and paste because they had nothing to say. It were just filler answers. They were just putting something down just to put it down. They didn't have no defense. And I knew that back then, just looking at what they were giving up then. The judge has always been frustrated with both sides, frustrated with the extensions, keep requesting more time. He's like, what do you need more time for what? What do you need to do? I'm ready to get this over with. This is 4 years, 3 years. Let's to get it done. So I just wanted to show it. And I'm just really getting sick of it, you guys. Let it go. Let the woman be accountable. Hold her accountable so that she can go through what she need to go through and maybe come out a better woman, maybe come out a better blogger, a better entertainer. Now, if this is just your disposition, it's giving, this is just who you are, then there's no hope for you. There's no hope for Tasha K. There's no hope for redemption. There's no hope for change. She's got a personal. If this is a personal vendetta and she's determined to see it through, she's not going to let this go. And we're just going to watch her self-destruct and watch her lose it all. And all for what? Because you have a personal. I mean, what is it? What is your thing? What is it with Cardi B? What is it? I really need to know. What is it with Cardi B? It can't just be because she turned down the video. Turned down the interview. And I'm kind of with Star Marie with the fact that she might be a victim of Tasha K's as well. Because you knew the girl was mentally unstable. You knew that it was a possibility what she was telling you were lies. And you pushed her into doing this interview. You pushed her into doing that video. You are a strong personality. It was a lot for her to deal with. I can just imagine being backed in a corner by Tasha K. Once you thought you had some information, you wanted to make her go up on that camera. She probably didn't even want to do that interview. Make her go up on that camera and sit there and have this discussion and throw out topics. And she probably didn't even know all of those questions were coming. So I really believe that she was a semi-victim of Tasha K as well. I do. Now, I don't believe she was wrong. I mean, that she was right about what she did and she should take responsibility and ownership. But if she's mentally unstable and she ain't got it all, like, come on. You used that girl because you felt that there was an entryway. It was something that she had. She had a little bit of information. We just going to make up the rest. We're going to make up the rest. So, has she really appealed? I don't know. I don't have any of that paperwork. We don't see anything like that yet. But if we got it, it'll definitely be coming out. You know, I'm going to expose it all. And these are public documents. Anybody can go on and look at them. I'm not getting anything special, but I really understand this case through and through. I've been reading the paperwork and following it. I haven't been following it with eyes. I've been following it with reading, not with ears and eyes, reading and comprehending these, transcripts and documents. And it's a lot. It's a lot. So you guys, thank you for coming through. You guys, make sure you hit that like button on your way out. We're gonna go. We're gonna see you tomorrow. We'll be doing the Jazzo Jay-Z piece. Jay-Z, he shot his brother when he was 12, honey, over some jewelry. But the video, what it's gonna be giving, we're gonna do a video about Jay-Z, but it's gonna be about the Jazzo thing. But we're gonna do, about Jay-Z and his crimes and him possibly, really being into some deep things, murders and stabbing people. And, and it's like he never really got in any trouble, there's someone that even claims that they took the blame for a crime so that he can go on with his career. So we're going to be talking about that tomorrow. So make sure you join for that. We'll set out a reminder. Lover of Life says, don't you have to get leave before your case is even heard in an appeal? I don't know what you mean by that. You want to be a little bit more specific. I don't get that. Oh, he's Hip Hop Inquirer says the TMZ was there. Well, they were there on the last day. Everyone needs to hit that like button. Okay, Hip Hop Inquirer, tell them hit that like button. But you guys are great. I'm going to go. So that I just dropped off that little receipt for you. Stop, just stop with it. Just accept it. Accept it, winos. Accept it, Tasha K supporters. She lost fair and square. Cardi proved her case. She was brilliant. The attorneys were brilliant. Cardi was a beautiful witness. She was, they were sympathetic. The jurors were sympathetic. They felt her as a woman. She's relatable. Cardi's humble. She has a sweet spirit. Even in the interview at the end, when she was out there speaking with her lawyers in attendance, she's so down to earth and so relatable and so sweet and humble. She has a really beautiful spirit. And those that don't see it, I don't know why. I mean, is she the saint and angel? No, none of us are perfect. But she didn't deserve this. I mean, it was really a lot. It's a lot. And she's already a celebrity, already in the public eye, already dealing with a lot as a woman, a new mom, a new wife, all of that. She was going through a lot. And, the success, working, being pulled in all these different directions. And then to have a woman come at you, making videos about you that you don't know. I don't know this woman. You don't even have a heart. I'm asking you to take the videos down and you just won't. You just want attention from me and you want to go viral. I mean, that was a lot. Tasha, it was really a lot. And I mean, was it really worth it? Did you get everything? And child, I'm going to tell y'all can choose to deny, but she is now down to 994,000 subscribers. I refuse to believe that 6,000 people just up and left Tasha K. And if you don't remember, she was just down there. Her cronies were just saying, they confirmed she didn't lose subscribers because of people, leaving. The subscribers are gone because YouTube. She said YouTube did it. It's not because people unsubscribed. She said that they're losing subscribers because of YouTube. Now, what does that mean to you? It's that goddamn message that we all got. And if you're a YouTuber, in your creator studio, it was there. It said you're going to notice a decrease in your subscribers because we are purging fake subscriptions. We are purging subscribers that have been bought, third-party subscribers. Spam accounts, spam subscribers. So you really just going to overlook that. You're going to overlook that they sat down there, down to the Tasha K wino and said her page is not suffering at the loss of subscribers due to people leaving because of the case. It's because of YouTube. It's because of YouTube. So what's that mean? And I'm not losing subscribers. I got the message. My numbers are going up. Other YouTubers I see, their numbers going up. I don't see anybody losing subscribers. So how ironic is it that we get this message from YouTube about we're on to people with fake subscribers and we're going to remove them? No, I lost none. I'm gaining subscribers. I didn't lose any. Look at my page. We had last night, we had 11,300 and something. Now we're up to 11,400 and something. We're about to be pushing 11.5. I gained almost 300 today. We're not losing anything. So if she's continuing to drop, and Mark, I told you in that video, what did I tell you? But see, y'all, I'm gonna make a believer out of y'all yet. Y'all gonna learn that when I say something, I mean what I say, and it's true, and I stand on it. I told you, if you continue to see the number drop, that is a clear indication that the subscribers are bought. They're fake because they are purging subscribers. She's been connected with this before. She's connected with Karen Civil. Karen Civil has been proven to be working with Jason Lee and these people to help them buy followers and get blue check marks and all this mess. How do you think they're doing that? You think that they got a relationship with Instagram and they can get a blue check mark because they know somebody? No, they know how to buy it. They know how to, they work with companies that help them buy these things. Okay, she's been associated with this rhetoric before, but now we're seeing it. You pushed to 1 million subscribers and you just went down all the way by 6,000. No, it's a little fishy to me. Okay. Little fishy to me. All right, you guys. So that's all I got to say about that there. This has been another edition of the Sweet Pea Diaries. Be sure to like this video, share this video, but most importantly, be sure to subscribe to the channel. And we out, y'all. Good night.